Alright guys, this is going to be our reinstall. We're going to start with pasting. I'm going to get some paste down on here. Some people, they like to smear it around. I like to get a big fat bead on there and just kind of push it down on there, and then I like to look at it, make sure it's overlapping a little bit on each side to make sure we get a good heat transfer. Orientate yourself to the board when you do this. Up here, this little white guy, this plug-in is going to be for your fan. We want to make sure a coil, this cutout in it, is facing that port. Just pick this thing up and push it down on there. Try to keep it on in one motion if you can. If you move it around, it's not a big deal. When you bolt this thing down, it'll flatten that out, and the paste will cover it. You just kind of put this S clip in. X clip, sorry, and I tried to get it where you can kind of see in the camera, but that falls off, so we're gonna put it back on. These are really easy to do. Sometimes they can be hard though. You know, if you have to get a pick in there to get it back on, you can, but you just kind of push down on these ramps. The last one, you just kind of ramp it up to it, and it'll lock it in. Give it a shake and a wiggle. I like to bring down my magnifying glass because I'm old and can't see much. And I like to look and make sure each foot, if you can see, is locked in place. And we're also looking at the paste underneath and making sure we can see kind of a roll. Not over onto the board, because then you get too much, but just on the edge of that. And that looks pretty good. I don't know if you caught that, but that's it. It looks pretty good. Let's move on, I think. All right, we're done. Yeah, we're going to get it lined up here. Then we're going to put this in. And then when you snap it down, this corner closest to us on the right is going to need to be popped down in to place. It's always tight right there. I'm going to change up some bits here. I'm going to flip this over, and we're going to put our screws in for our X clamp, which is going to hold that all together, what we just pasted. I got orange paint on my hand. I like to paint the bodies on these just in case. This one was in really good shape, so I didn't even bother to paint the bottom. If it's got any kind of corrosion on it, it should be painted, especially if you're in a humid environment. So we'll get these things screwed back down here. And what I like to do is slowly, as I'm adding stuff, go flip it over and screw them in. So you can just really tip it up and screw them in. But for video purposes, I kind of got to do it this way so you guys can see what's going on. This guy is slow. Come on with the screw. Let's go. Alright. And I like to torque these down real light, and then I'll come back at some point and give it a little bit more torque. Maybe a couple turns on my adjustment on the drill. Alright, we're changing our bits here. Probably gonna flip this thing over. Am I getting ahead of myself? Oh, some more screws are coming out. Alright, we put those in. You didn't need to see that. Let's go to the fan. I like to put these in one at a time, obviously, and not screw them all the way down. Do not make them tight right off the bat, because we want to be able to put one in. We want to be able to move the fan around so we can get it positioned for the next one. Okay, just get it lined up. Keep it straight. Don't strip it out and don't get crazy. You got some 1/2 inch impact on here, you're going to strip it out. Go easy on these screws. These screws are going to feel tighter than most. Once it's on, go ahead and tighten them down. Get that one tight. Now check it, make sure. Are we going to forget to screw in the other one? Oh. See if this guy is going to screw the other one in. I do at some point. At this point, we are going to go ahead and we're going to put in our hard drive carrier. There we go. I screwed it in on that cut. Alright, here we go. We're going to stick this guy in. We want to make sure we get these wires from under here on top of that so we're not fighting them later. There's going to be a screw underneath my fingers. We're going to go ahead and plug this in. Yeah. Normally I would be using like a pair of pliers or something. a little pair of needle nose to kind of grab it and put it in, but I'm trying to do this by hand as much as possible to show you that you don't need a bunch of fancy tools to get this done. Let me get that plugged in there. I think I messed the video up here. You lift this up and you line up the screw, and it goes in the side there. There's one screw. I gotta get my bit. I believe I cut this part out coming up. Let's see what happens. Yep. I forgot to add this. You should do this when the cage is empty, but it is possible to do it with it on, but you can break it very easy. I suggest you take your Xbox back apart. If you're not that worried about it and you've done this before like me, you can get it on there. Just gotta get the top started first and then bring it down and then clip it in, and it'll snap into place. Get that snapped in there. And if you break it, just get some hot glue and glue it on. Not a big deal. You're not driving this thing down the road. I'm going to put our shroud on. I believe that goes on next. Get it oriented. It should just kind of sit down in there, but I think it goes over that board. Let's go ahead and put our disk drive holder in. This is going to have one screw in it that we're going to need to screw now. It's got a little metal tab on the side that connects on our right here. And those holes should line up. There should be 2 holes that line up. You want to make sure to snap down in there. I'm going to grab a couple screws. And we are going to screw this thing in because we haven't screwed this in yet. Like I said, we're going to kind of screw these in as we go along. My bolts are mixed up, of course. And you can't see it, so oh, there we go. Try to zoom out a little bit. We're putting it in the bottom here. You can see if you try to put both of them in, the other one I don't believe will go in. Let's see if I'm right. I think that, yeah, see, it just wanted to drop in. That's one of our long screws. We got one over here that we haven't put in. Yeah, that one went in, all right. See if that one is a screw. I think it is, but I'm not sure. Nope, that's that long one from before, I think. If you get confused with these screws, just put them in the hole. If it drops down in the hole, you do not have the right screw. All these screws are about the same size. I know this one here is that corner, the left corner. So, all right, what are we doing next here? Flip it over. Let's go ahead and set our shroud on top of that. See, yep, that's how it goes. That comes in after the shroud. It's kind of like putting a puzzle together, guys. It'll all go back together. It'll look right. It'll just feel right. This is going to be a little tricky with the camera. I'm going to try to use my fingers. You can get one of these connected pretty easy. Take your time. Don't bend the pins. Don't force it. Don't get mad at it. It'll just kind of want to go in. Sometimes you really got to get a pinch down on this. It's hot out. Of course, I'm kind of sweating, as you can see a little bit. You got a nice pair of needle nose that have a curve to them or something, you can use those. I'm double checking my pin. If you're having trouble, look at where that gap is on the side of there and then look at it on your pin, and that'll kind of let you know if you were too high or too low. See, I got it right there because I looked at it. Figured out where I was at. This one normally is pretty easy for me, but you can really get fooled thinking it's like up on that top, and you'll fool with it like I am. Sometimes I get a little pick or something to help me push it in, but I am too high and I don't have much room now. Let's just try it with the fingers. I should be able to get this. See if you guys can see it. I don't get to watch this video in real time. I'm gonna lift it up, put it in there. Alright, you can get it. It goes right in. Our unit's pretty much back together. Oh, we're missing the faceplate. We need to switch to our smaller bits. These screws are going to be smaller. I'm going to do that right quick. Got my screws ready. Get my faceplate. What I like to do, get that out of here. I like to put this on and stand this up at the same time. Try not to take the ribbon. If you don't have to remove the ribbon cable, don't. Just be gentle with it. Give yourself some slack with the faceplate. You may have to lift up a little bit and just kind of line that up. Sometimes these are tricky, and sometimes they're not. At this point, I got to put 2 screws in. Get this lined up on my drill, and I'll just lift this one up. Give me enough room to get down underneath here. Keeping an eye on my ribbon cable. And then we're going to put our other screw in. It goes there on the top. There's different ways you can do this. I like to kind of just prop it up under there. Get it just right. It'll kind of hold itself up. Watch. Careful of that ribbon cable. Of course, when you do a video, this is how I normally do it. Try to hold everything. This over the edge of the table. Oh, am I going to lose it? No, we got it. And then just kind of come down off the edge of the table. This is really the best way to do it. Put the screw in. Line it up. Make sure your ribbon cable is not pinched or pulled out. Slide the top back on. The faceplate on. Everything looks good. We should be ready for a top cover. This top cover was separated for cleaning and painting. What you want to do is you want to get it in this side first and make sure it's over the posts, and it'll kind of pop down in there. You may have to push this to one side. It likes to bind up back here too. Check, make sure you're not stuck anywhere, so you don't force this down on there and break that pin. If you do, don't worry, just glue it or get rid of it. Really not necessary. It's an RF shield. I leave them in there, and I normally glue them in so they don't rattle. This is going to snap on. I want to make sure those edges are on the outside of the unit, not on the inside. You'll feel it. If you have to get down there and look at it, get down there and look at it. Should feel like it's kind of coming together, like it fits right. And then just bring your faceplate in real gently, and it'll pop right into place. Now, depending on the age and stuff, it might be a little loose. We're not all together yet either. Okay, now we got to get those long screws, and we got to change our bit. Okay, yeah, come on, change the bit. I'll put them in first. 1, 2, 3. Wiggle that one around. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where's this one going? Do I have an extra screw? Look around. Make sure. Double check. Alright, I had an extra screw. Done a few of these today. Change up our bit. And let's screw these things in. You'll see the Xbox will kind of pull together when you do this. If you got broken posts, just leave the screw out. Don't put it back in. Go very gently. I suggest you don't use power tools for this. I suggest you do this by hand and snug everything down gently. Worst case scenario, you can always take it apart and fix whatever you missed. A lot of times you'll put stuff together and you'll forget something, you'll have to take it apart. But if you've done it once, you can do it again in half the time. Alright, we're all screwed in. Everything looks pretty good. Looks tight. We'll grab our top. Kind of snap it into place up under here. Line it back up here. You want to push these tabs back in. Make sure you don't bend them or break them. And just kind of push it together. It'll kind of snap together. You want to stand it up. You can see one of mine is broken from the person who did it before. When I push these on and make sure it snaps together. If they're broken, snap them down and glue them. Hot glue, super glue. I don't care what kind of glue you use. You want it to be tight. You can do an inspection on this side over here, squeezing it up and down. Making sure it's all snapped together. And now we need our trim. Trim's the easiest part. Oh, we'll stick our hard drive in. You guys know how to do that, but there you go. If you don't know how to do it, it's in there. Let's go. All right. You can look at these. One side normally has one end normally has one, and one end normally has two. Just kind of snap that on top of there and push it down. Plastic ones start at the edge of the machine and work your way towards the center. This is a removable piece, obviously, so you get your hard drive out. It doesn't go in backwards, it goes in forwards. I'm going to flip that bad boy over. We're going to grab the correct piece. We're going to look for our orientation. One there. Squeeze it kind of together and push down on it. Something doesn't seem right. Just look at it. Okay, it'll snap back together and you'll feel it's going to get tighter. On these, I normally start with the one that has two on the end. It helps line it up more straight and helps it just pop right back in. And there you go. We're ready for a test. Let's turn it on. Open it up. Slap in a game. And I'm going to do another video on just the disk drive. Double check, make sure it syncs. This unit is getting a sticker kit put on it.